Welcome to the 4-wheel drive road trip challenge. And as you can see, I have done it proper. I have a 90s legend right in front of me here, the Nissan Pulsar GT-IR. So over the last few weeks you guys have seen us working on this car tirelessly to get it ready for this episode and ready for this road trip. We're by no means finished this car, as you can see by all the work we still have to do, but we're getting through the jobs. We still have got loads of upgrades to do around this area as well, which will be coming in the future. But first we need to take this car on a road trip to see if it's actually going to start behaving and worthwhile getting more and more attention. It's only worth it if it's going to start behaving and be reliable. And as I mentioned earlier, I've made the correct choice for this road trip. When you look at how aggressive this bonnet is, when you look at the boot spoiler on the car and just its overall design for a 1991 car, it's also got a 2-litre turbocharged engine, 4-wheel drive, which is a monster in this little car. From the factory, someone will correct me, I think about 225 brake from the factory. I'm not 100% sure how much is currently still in mine. It's had a lot of work done to it, but there is so much development you can do on these engines. The power, there's a lot there, to the point that the gearbox can handle, I will say. I think for where we're taking this car on a road trip, I have made the perfect choice. So just to finish off before we start the road trip, this little car has the name Baby Godzilla for a reason, and we're going to hopefully display that if it is reliable on the road trip. But it's not the only car that will be joining us on the road trip, because unfortunately I have a ball and chain.
Ignore everything Paul has just said, because I have got the right car for this road trip, and I'm going to explain why. This is a Subaru Impreza WRX STI. It's basically a rally car for the road. Subaru released the Impreza in 1992 and they took it rallying. It was most famously rallied by Colin McRae. This colour blue and the gold wheels are probably the most iconic Subaru you'll see on the road. This is a WRX STI, which doesn't stand for a sexually transmitted infection. It actually stands for Subaru Technica International, and we're going to pretend that I knew that. With this being the WRX STI, it has more power than the standard WRX. And then again on top of that, Paul tells me that this has been remapped, so it's got high and low boost switches, which is more than enough power to beat that shitty box car behind me.
With introductions over and Michelle's car filled with rather expensive fuel, it's time to make the second part of our trip, which isn't by land.
I mean, I don't know whether Paul can show you that wee red sign over there, but it doesn't fill me with confidence for getting the car on the boat. However, despite my fears, we managed to get both cars on the ferry without any mishaps and still keep our hair dry.
So how's your trip been so far?
Uneventful.
Eventful or uneventful?
Uneventful.
Really?
Yes.
Did you not take the wrong turn on the way here? And did we not nearly miss the ferry because you were running late? No?
No.
Leaving all chances of recovery behind, the Pulsar is now in deep water, pardon the pun. As we approach the Isle of Arran, we can see why DRIVETRIBE chose this location for Richard Hammond's Subaru. Stopping for supplies in a nice spot next to another Subaru, our car seemed to be making a mating call.
So I don't know whether the camera's going to pick up on the noise right now, but that is the immobiliser going off on the Subaru. So I now have to drive with this going off for quite a while, and I'm now stuck myself as well. Come to Arran, he said, it'll be fun, he said. I slagged his car, I said it wasn't going to make it, and now it's mine that is causing all the problems. I'm actually so embarrassed. Fuck off, Paul. Just I want to go home.
But before we can go anywhere, I need to make an immediate stop at the nearest fuel station. And it's not just Michelle that's having car troubles. Fuel flap's not opening. Nah, the boot's not opening either. I need fuel. Some start to this trip. Look Michelle, look, there's a boat. Oh, it worked, it just opened, it's alright. I'm still winning on points. Is this a points-based challenge?
If it is, I think I lose.
How much is this? 155. It's not even good stuff. What do you pay?
I have no idea.
Need every penny we can get here.
We're off on the road trip round ARRAN. I just want to give you guys my first impression of the Pulsar. This is my first kind of road trip that I can show you guys since it has been working. There is a few little hiccups. Obviously it is so loud, as you can hear. And that's me just kind of going. Once I'm on motorway speed, it's really droney, which is why I wanted to reduce the back box. I've got no radio, not that you could hear a radio anyway. My blower motor only works on speed setting 4, so the heater resistor's packed in. My tweeters actually fell off the door when I shut the door, and they're not even wired in, so they're lying on the floor. My boot latch has stopped working, so I can't get into the boot and I have to break in to put fuel in it. But apart from that, it's running pretty good. The mission for this car really is to complete one lap, which we are attempting right now. But I think it's already got one little win and 1 point on the scoreboard, because it has actually made it to ARRAN, which was one of the biggest kind of doubts, to be honest, and anxiety for me to bring it here. Oh, someone was flashing there. An old Civic? I don't know. I actually thought he was flashing because it might be a traffic camera ahead, but yeah. I don't think it's running 100%, to be honest with you. In fact, it's running shit right now. Not got any power. That fuel, but it does need a setup anyway. I think one of the issues I'm having with the car is that it's been bored out to a 2.1 technically, and it's got the forged pistons, but we still have the standard injectors, so we've got the standard volume of fuel being fired in by the ECU to a slightly larger cylinder, so it does actually need set up. I don't think I could tune it through the standard ECU, so we might need a NIS tune or some sort of way to piggyback or something to actually get it tuned, but I feel as if it does need set up, to be honest. It does need a big cleaning of detail and all that kind of stuff, but as I've said in previous episodes, I'm not prepared to actually go into all that kind of detail. If it breaks down on me, then it's going to sit for a few months again. So if it behaves itself on this road trip, wow, then I'm going to start doing more and more and more. And we already have a lot of the parts, but I actually just came across some epic views here, and I can see why DRIVETRIBE already came to this island for a road trip. Some of the road is a wee bit snaky, but we're just here for a cruise. We're not here to set lap times. So we're going past Lumlash Golf Club right now, and the view across the water is unbelievable. And the view in my rear view mirror of the Subaru is also equally as epic.
Paul's just stopped for a wee second. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's having trouble because, well, his car's a heap of crap.
Unfortunately for Michelle, I've only stopped to capture the view of the Holell and seize an opportunity to relive my childhood.
thought we were on a road trip, but apparently we're on a big child holiday. If he had fallen there, I would honestly have wet my pants.
I mistimed that there, it's been a few years so I've been honest with you. I hit my bum there.
Every time we turn a corner, I am just blown away by the views that I'm getting. The roads are a little bit bumpy, I'm not gonna lie, but in my Subaru I don't feel it. I'm designed for these kind of roads. Paul, probably struggling in that little ugly thing that he's in, but it is just so beautiful here, guys, that it's unbelievable. It's hard to believe that we were only 50 minutes over the water and we're in this absolute treasure trove of beauty everywhere. It's sad because I don't think the video is going to do justice to just how beautiful it is. I have full confidence in the Subaru that it's going to get me through it. I'm not so sure Paul's going to have full confidence in his little car. It's surprised me already because it's got here. I honestly didn't think we'd get here. And it's made it, so I'm surprised. I'm happy for him, but I don't think it's going to be a very comfortable drive. I think he's going to be quite close to the road and it's going to be very bumpy and the awkward bits of the country road, and it's going to be so loud. I've actually turned the radio down, so I'm just chilling out, taking in all this beauty, listening to the radio. He has nothing, he has no radio. I've got the temperature very comfortable. I was a bit warm when we got off the boat. I'm sitting nice and cool now, nice and relaxed. His fans don't even work properly, so I'm not sure how he's feeling. I've got the best car, and he knows it as well. He knows it. I've got the best car. She's indestructible. She'll complete the road trip, no bother. I do love it. I do love the Subaru. There's just something about it.
Something I'm having to keep my eye on all the time is all the gauges. This is the longest I've ever driven this car, so I'm looking at the oil temperature, I'm looking at the oil pressure, I'm looking at my boost gauge, I'm checking my temperature gauge for the coolant. You'll have noticed that on the ferry I was actually checking to make sure that the coolant is staying in the system, which it seems to be doing, so we're okay for now. But we've got a long way to go on the road trip. Apparently it's 56 miles for one lap of the island, which I thought it was actually going to be around 20 miles to be honest. Total that with about the 20 mile trip either way to get from my house down to the ferry port. So it's a bit of a test for the Pulsar, considering it's got a reputation for breaking down, and it's history with me in general, to be honest.
Just a few miles into our trip and we're already making our second stop to share the beautiful views of ARRAN with you guys. But it wasn't long before the view was spoiled, with the Subaru making yet another mating call on the trip. You're laughing, but it's not going off, I starting.
What? Go. The fuel pump went. Did you leave something on there?
No, nothing's on. Everything's gone mental. Well, my hazards are gone crazy. Worst road trip ever!
Oh, damn it. I was about to do the classic Top Gear, just drive away and leave her. Bye bye. To the people of ARRAN, we apologise. It's apparently a 6-point turn to get out of an open wide car park. Wow.
It makes me panic! And I forget how to drive!
That was, it makes me panic and I forget how to drive.
think the Pulsar is winning, to be honest. I've had to start and stop a few times to catch some views. It's dealing with some rough road conditions, and the Subaru seems to be having some more problems than I'm having right now. So I think so far the Pulsar is the best four-wheel drive car available to me. It's quite fitting that there's some rally pedigree in both the Nissan Pulsar GTI-R and the Subaru Impreza, because some of these road conditions right now are absolutely horrendous. Just crazy wee hump after that crazy wee hump. Is spectacular. You can see the Ailsa Craig perfectly right now. It just keeps drawing my eyes. It just looks so good. Ailsa Craig is basically a big rock of granite that sits out in the sea. You just really have to see it for yourself, to be honest. I want to test the Pulsar a little bit, but these roads are just killing me, man. Oh, you bastard! How are you finding the roads, Michelle?
I was going to put this on. They're a bit bumpy, aren't they?
They're absolutely horrendous. But on the plus side, I have found a swing set with 2 swings on it. Care to join me?
But you can go faster than you can.
No chance. I'm actually winning this challenge right now anyway.
Well, yeah, because I found another problem with my car. But, so new challenge.
What do you mean another problem? It's not your car, it's mine.
No, I found another wee problem.
What is it?
It's the caliper's getting worse.
The what?
The caliper's getting worse.
Wait, what do you mean the caliper's getting worse?
I may have a caliper stuck on.
You gave a lot of big talk. You gave a lot of big talk.
I feel like you've deliberately neglected my car, and I'm actually kind of crapping my pants right now because I've switched it off and I need to switch it back on again.
So what's going to happen?
Alarm's probably going to go off.
Just don't lock the car.
I didn't lock it last time.
I don't think the roads are actually... They're not road trip roads right now. We need to actually sit down and find a road trip road. We're losing daylight. I don't think we're going to be able to complete a lap in daylight. I think we're losing the light too quick. So we might actually have to revisit tomorrow. So I'm agreeing on staying because I think we need to look at the map and try and find a driving road, because right now this is not a driving road and it's not a driving experience.
There's absolutely zero chance for me to test my car against your car, to be fair. I've got no overtakes.
There's no chance.
I'm too busy trying to
I don't even think there's a section so far where I could say to Michelle, I'll keep up with you or you keep up with me. And you've got a humped caliper, so we're on. But new challenge, whoever goes fastest in the swings
buys dinner.
Buys dinner. I'm paying for everything right now.
It's pinching my butt.
Is there WD-40 in there?
It's actually really
I'm definitely winning. Oh, I'm going to bump. Oh.
You're not winning.
Oh, it's hurting my thigh. I'm higher.
No, no chance you're higher. No.
I can't do that, it's too soon. It's hurting my bum. Right, best dismount. Don't jump, you're supposed to walk off it.
I'm an absolute...
Oh, that was sweet.
I'm not ready yet.
I'll catch you.
I'm too scared. I need to slow down, I need to slow down.
So I've won best dismount.
No, I've not dismounted yet, have I?
Oh wait, where's Skegness Raceway?
He missed it, but that was the best.
Skeg...
I've never been.
Did you? Oh, my thighs. The chain was cutting in.
It's usually embarrassing, they can probably hear my breathing right.
Mine as well.
So I didn't know if this existed, I don't know why you did, obviously I've never been to ARRAN, but this is a memorial site for 2 pilots, Petty Officer Pilot James William Crowe, who was only 19, and leading Allman Gunner John Millen Martin, who was only 20, and they obviously were flying in 1944, would that be World War II, and they've crashed off the shore of ARRAN.
With Michelle's history lesson over and no clear winner of the swing contest, it's time to hit the road again. We're fighting the daylight, so we need to make up some time. Some smooth road once more. It really helps to try and make up the time when we've got a little bit of smooth tarmac ahead. This is better, but it doesn't last long. You maybe get a mile if you're lucky, and then it's back to bomb site. This is genuinely taking as much concentration as Silverstone Racing Circuit to navigate round these twisty roads, these dipping roads. Keep your eyes on the road because of the scenery and avoid the potholes at the same time. There's Michelle. This must be the bit of road my mum was talking about. It's literally like this. Pulsar just about took off there. Oh, that bit of road there was actually not too bad. Now we're back to terrible again. Pulsar life. Wonder how Michelle's getting on in the Subaru. Honestly changed gears that many times. I'm starting to think I'm in a Fast and the Furious movie.
With the ferry terminal in sight, we have finally reached one of the most popular tourist destinations on ARRAN, Loch Ranza. We paused here for a moment to take in the spectacular scenery. It's such a calm evening, and with the sun setting, it made everything more picturesque.
While down by the waterside, I'm taking an opportunity to show off my, I call it skiffing, Michelle calls it skipping, but you guys can let us know in the comments, stone skills.
In doing this, Paul attracted an angry swan, and when nature got a bit too close, he made a run for yet another set of swings, even though he was told we didn't have time. But little did Paul know, this swing set was sitting on a downhill and it would be his undoing.
As if falling in front of people at the bus stop wasn't embarrassing enough, I then had to change my clothes in the middle of the street into dry new ones. There was even still pieces of grass falling out my trousers. But not that Michelle was concerned with helping me, because even though 5 minutes had now passed, she still couldn't breathe for laughing. With the roads not being suitable for the Pulsar, and now I fell and I'm covered in muck, the only thing that could soften all those blows was the beautiful scenery we were yet to still see.
We're 15 miles from completing a lap, and with the sun coming down we thought it was best to leave Lochranza before we were chased out for indecent exposure. But in that 15 miles, ARRAN has so much still to show us.
At the end of the day, to add more insult to injury, we've finally found the best piece of road for driving. But since the sun was setting, more and more wildlife were starting to surface, so we actually had to drive slowly and just admire the beauty for the next 15 miles. Something that was becoming more apparent to me in this road trip is that some people are never lucky enough to own one of these cars in a lifetime, and I'm fortunate enough to have both.
Paul may be fortunate enough to own both of these cars, but I'm the unfortunate one having to drive the Subaru with the alarm going off again as we come to the end of day one.
As we pull up to the hotel to end day one, we still have confidence that there is driving roads and driving experience yet to be had on the island. But having already caused enough disturbances on the island, I'm handing Michelle the 10mm spanner to disconnect her battery so the alarm doesn't go off in the middle of the night, ruining any resident's stay on the island.
After running my mouth about having the better car, Paul genuinely refused to help me disconnect the battery and I was left to figure it out for myself. After alarm and brake issues, I may finally have to admit that square box over there may be in the lead after day 1. But at least I've made a good choice in the tail, and after a good night's rest the Subaru will be back in the next episode to fight back against the Pulsar. So make sure you like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the action.